Every 7 seconds, a teen is bullied. Every 7 seconds. Every day, 160,000 students miss school because they're afraid. 160,000 students miss school today, they'll miss it tomorrow and the next day and so on. And when they are there, are they learning anything? Or are they simply trying to survive the day? A third of all students are bullied each day, a third of every student body. 250,000 people reported being bullied last month and every month. 250,000 people are desperate enough that they report a bullying incident every month. And to me, the most disturbing statistic of all, by the age of 25, 1 in 5 bullies will spend time in jail. Is this what it's come to, people? Is this who we are as a society? I remember being shocked by parents who told me to wait, not to do anything about what had happened to Morgan, that it wasn't big enough to save up for that big event. And I'm thinking, really? This isn't big enough? This isn't important enough for Morgan to stand up for her? And I thought, what message would that send her when she's 16 and she has a boyfriend who pinches her, pulls her hair, isolates her from her friends? You know what she'd remember? She'd remember her mother saying, this really isn't big enough, Morgan. And she'd think the same for the boy, that that was satisfactory behavior, that that's how she should be treated. There's no way that message should be sent to any child. So the real question is, why does bullying continue? It continues because we allow it to. We as parents, as citizens, as human beings, as community leaders, we allow it. Think about it. We as a society don't allow a lot of other things. Let's take, for instance, we don't allow people to go out in public nude, right? You can't go outside naked. Isn't that true? That is true. And if you do, someone calls the police. If you show up to work with no shoes on, you're going to be sent home. Pretty clear standards of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And the consequences are pretty consistent. You do this action, something's going to happen. But the same is not for bullying. We turn our heads, we feel sorry for the bully. We even sometimes blame the kid who's been bullied, saying they should stand up for themselves. Yes, they should stand up for themselves, but it's time to quit blaming them. We have to stand up and say this is no longer acceptable. We have to say to other parents, to school officials, to churches, to daycares, to sports leaders, to our children, to anyone who will listen. We have to say it over and over again, and we have to demand that bullying becomes socially unacceptable. What are the ramifications, again, if you go out into public naked? The ramifications are very clear. But if you bully another human being, very inconsistent. There is no consistent ramifications for bullying, physically or emotionally harming another human being. I can't cure cancer. I can't keep your child from getting autism. I can't do anything about diabetes or Alzheimer's, but I can do something about bullying. I can't do it alone though. I need you to stand up with me and say that bullying is no longer socially acceptable. And we need to stand united against violence, against one human being to another. Society rises and falls, not based on how we feel, but how we act. My voice will not be silent until a difference is made. Can you say the same?